I think the question of the day is, what are your new intentions? That's going to be the question. It is currently, when I'm recording this, is July 2nd. I did not make a vlog yesterday, July 1st, because I was so freaking tired. It was ridiculous. I am not taking good care of myself, I'll tell you that much. So a while back, I made a video talking about, I hope you guys don't hear the road noise here, it's so loud. I made a video a while back. It was actually a live chat video when I was like sitting in front of the camera, about my crash, my habit of crashing, and like my body shutting down on me because I don't rest and I don't exercise and I don't eat right, and it all finally like catches up with me and I sleep for like a whole day or two. And the last time that happened, I was like, this is the last time this is gonna happen to me because I am changing my life. And I did. I was so motivated because I was like, I can't keep going on like this. This is really bad. Good morning, Diane caught me. I'm so happy. So I was extremely motivated until probably Saturday. So during my week, I have this 2-hour-a-day commute. I have, a regular full-time job. I have to make time to work on my business, and it's outside of my work hours. And so when the weekend comes, sometimes I am so backed up with ideas and inspiration, because I'm getting inspiration all day, every day. And I'm so backed up with ideas and things I want to do, like I want to do it, that I will literally stay up all night. I'll usually go to sleep on Friday because Friday is, the end of the week. I'm so dead tired, burned out. But Saturday night, I'll probably go to bed at like 2 or 3 in the morning. Well, broke my record on that this past weekend. I stayed up all night long. Like the sun was coming up, my alarm clock was going off. It was crazy. And I wasn't tired at all because I had done this thing. Marissa Peer on one of those Mind Valley master classes, she was talking about like giving yourself a pep talk, like talk to yourself better and say like, oh, I'm so ecstatic, I'm thrilled to do this, I'm so excited to do this, this is the best thing, I'm so good at this. Like I give myself a pep talk like that. And she says, if you do that instead of being like, oh, I guess I have to write this paper today, oh, I guess I have to do this right now, instead of feeling like you have to, but instead talk yourself up to say like, this is so great, I'm so good at this, that when you do that, the inspiration will flow. It tells your brain like, hey, we're ready to do this, like we're excited to do this. So your brain gets into gear and it starts getting all these great ideas. And she says you could go all night on that kind of energy and you don't get tired, you don't get bored, you're engaged, you're in flow. And that's what happened to me. So I made myself lay down at 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning. At this point, it was Sunday morning. I forced myself to go to bed. Like my kids were already in bed, they were snoring away, and I knew, I was like, as soon as I lay down, they're gonna wake up, it's gonna be horrible. But thankfully they didn't, wake right up. And so I was like, not at all calmed down. Like my mind was still going. I was in the middle of, so I was putting the finishing touches on the new budget diary. I was making the graphics. I was creating a list of the products that would go with it. What I've been trying to do is simplify the way the budget diary reaches people. So before, there were 8 different ways that you could get the budget diary. That was far too many things, and it was very confusing. And so if you wanted a notebook and you accidentally bought a printable, then, and so I had people who were like, oh, that was I had 2 people. It wasn't that bad, but to me it was confusing, so I figured it'd be confusing to other people. So I wanted to make graphics that clearly showed what you were getting, and plus I wanted to limit the number of options, and I wanted to limit the number of products altogether. So instead of 8 different versions of the budget diary, there's not 4 different artwork styles, there's just one style. So that cuts out that. And then, there's no more like notebook and booklet and all this. There's no more of that. There's just a printable. And then there is one that if you need it printed for you, I'll print it for you and send it. So what happened was, the new budget diary, because my budget is complicated, because I'm trying to help people get out of debt, and that can be complicated. It was 98 pages, and the amount, I wanted to keep the price like $30. But the amount of pages, if I print it for you, by the time I do printing and postage and all that stuff, it's already over $30. And I was like, ugh. So that was really frustrating, because I want to make it really affordable so that anybody, and I know even if you have debt, like you can afford, even if it's $100, like that's a good investment to get out of debt forever. But I really wanted to make that barrier of entry really low for people. So I had this problem, right? I had a problem of figuring out how I can make it affordable to get it printed for you, because a printable is fine. I can charge $2 for that because it's already done. All you have to do is download it. But the one that's printed for you, that's the problem. So it was 8 o'clock, and I finally said, I can't. Well, for one thing, when I saw the problem, I didn't get worried. Like, I didn't get stressed out. So this is still more of telling you like how to manage your negative emotions. So I've just said, oh, okay, this is not good. But this is a problem. I need to figure out how to solve this problem. And I know it's all going to work out regardless. It's going to be fine, because I know that fundamentally I'm helping people, and God is not going to bring me to the point of figuring out how to help people and then just go, oh, well, I guess we can't figure out the answer to this problem. So good luck to you. So what I did was, I didn't freak out. I was just like, okay, well, I guess I better sleep on it. I was not tired at all. I made myself go to bed at 8 o'clock. In the morning. My mind was going a mile a minute. I really it was like I was dreaming all night. Like I was dreaming and dreaming and dreaming. And I woke up probably like 3 hours later with like, a start. Like I woke up like that, like somebody had yelled my name. And my mind was still going as though I didn't even sleep. It was just da-da-da-da-da-da. But it was the answer to my question. And because I went to bed thinking, well, maybe if I cut it in half and say, okay, you get 6 months, and then you figure it out, you can buy it the other 6 months later if you like it, that kind of thing. But I woke up and my mind was like, take some of the pages out, make one that's more simple. So if you have a complicated budget like me, give them the 98-page document. If they can't afford to have it printed out, they can find a way to print it themselves for the printable. It's not that expensive. Give people options. Give people a range of prices so they can choose how much they want to pay. Instead of me saying, I'm going to make it less than $30 for you, somebody might say, you know what, my situation is so complicated, I don't even mind paying more, because I really need help with this, and I think you can help me. And so I said, okay, well, let's give a range of options. But when I woke up, it was like, make one that's for somebody who's fresh out of college, who doesn't have a crazy ton of debt like you. Like I had 6 or 7 debts. We actually ended up with 7 debts on our debt snowball. But somebody straight out of college may only have their student loan. That's one debt. So you don't need 2 pages of a debt snowball. You just need 1 page. It has 3 slots on it. So they may have their car, their student loan, and that's it. And a credit card, maybe. So that answered that. And so I just ended up, I got up. I was like, I got to get up before my kids, because if I'm going to, I was like riding the wave of the ideas in my head. And I was like, if I'm going to edit this document, this 98-page document, and cut it down to half, I need to go and look through now where I have this inspiration to know which pages are important and which pages are not important. So I jumped up and I ran to my computer and I started editing this document, and I got it down to 54 pages, which is a lot better. The previous version of the budget diary was 48 pages and 46 pages, and it was pretty good. But this one has a lot of extra activities in it and a lot of other things that'll help you set your intentions around your future vision and help you imagine your life without debt. So that's what happened Sunday. And then I took the kids out and we went to the splash pad and all this kind of stuff. So still not tired whatsoever. It was crazy. This happened to me before when I very first was starting in business. It was like a year ago in June. Yeah, it was a year ago in June. And I seriously thought I was bipolar. I was like, am I manic right now? Because I wouldn't sleep. I would just be up and going and going. I had so many ideas and I was doing stuff and I was inspired and I was excited. And even my husband was like, are you okay? Like, you are really like doing a lot of stuff. So, and then my grandpa died like last year, Father's Day, and that broke everything. Like I wasn't grieving, but I just wasn't motivated to get up and go. I was doing things, but it wasn't like, I felt I had lost that flow, you know, and I was so frustrated because I'm like, you know, I was doing Miracle Morning. I was getting up and I was doing stuff and it was incredible. And then boom, it was all gone. So that's how I felt. So anyway, Monday, which is yesterday, I couldn't be bothered to do anything. Like, even I turn on this camera and I talk out what's going on in my head, because usually I'm driving and I'm listening to a book and I'll have to pause the book because I gotta talk out what's going on in my head. So I just decided to record it. But yesterday I didn't even have anything going on in my head. Like, I wasn't even talking through anything. And that's why when Diane, you were like, are you going live this morning? And I was like, nah, because I really I wasn't thinking of anything. I sent the email early. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning on Monday morning. So that was Sunday. I slept like 3 hours. Monday morning, I went to bed at like 2 o'clock in the morning after pressing send on, you know, the email to send the video of the budget diary to people who had subscribed so they could see it. And I was going to work and I'm just like, I have nothing. Like, nothing is going on inside my head. It's just, my brain is kind of just like, chill and let's just get it done. I had a productive day at work yesterday. I wanted to come on in the afternoon and do some budget diary video for the people in the mastermind group. And I wasn't able to. Like, I was just tired. So I see the pattern already. I see that, like, if I don't take better care of myself, I will have that, I forgot what I called it last time, the body shutdown or whatever it is when I sleep for like days, which I cannot afford to do because we have 2 days off from work coming up, the 4th of July, and we actually get the 5th of July, then I have Saturday and Sunday. So I have 4 days to work. See, well, this is what happens. Usually it's like Friday night and I'm like, okay, I got 2 days to work on my business. Okay, I'm going to build an entire business in 2 days. And it's like, girl, stop. Girl. Maybe that should be the next title of what's our pal Rachel Hollis. Yeah, it's like, girl, stop apologizing, girl, wash your face, and girl, stop working and go to sleep. because I do that. I just see like a window of opportunity where I don't have to go to work, where I can just work on my passion all day. And then I want to build the entire thing in 2 days so I don't sleep or anything. And I can't do that. So I got to pace myself. I have to remember that in a very short amount of time, I will be able to do this full time. And I do not need to build it all now, because when I'm able to go full time, there won't be anything left to do unless I just be tweaking everything that I totally just launched imperfectly already. Because yeah, I'm like doing it all now, or I feel compelled to do it all now, and I don't have to. I don't have to do all of the things right now. No. So I'm super tired. So I have, again, the triad of personal care that I noticed that's absolutely necessary: sleep, meditation, and exercise. Okay, there's 4 things. Eating. I have to eat right. So really it's sleep, eating right, and exercising. Those things fall through the cracks when I behave this way. This is my own particular brand of self-sabotage. When I do this to myself, I don't eat right, I don't sleep, I don't exercise, and this is what happens. So I have a goal of being a fitness model by October, okay? That is my goal. But what has happened to me? I am not. I've let everything fall apart. So what will happen is that I will be super tired, and then I'll be, disappointed in myself. So I got to get it back on track, and it just takes discipline. And apparently I have enough discipline for like a week and a half of discipline. And it's okay, because it's a learning process. And like Abraham Hicks says, you will never get it all done. You will never get it 100% correct. So I'm going to let myself off the hook for that. But I'm going to keep trying. And more than discipline, it's motivation. So what is my motivation? What is my point? What is the point? What is the point? So my question to you is, what is the point? What is your motivation? What is your purpose? What are you doing anything for? Why do you take care of yourself? Why don't you just eat cheeseburgers every single day? Like, who cares if you die from a heart attack at 51? Like, why do you care? What is the point? Maybe that's a rhetorical question. I don't know. I care. My kids are tiny. I want to see them grow up. I want to be active in their lives. I don't want to be sick. I don't want to live a long time as a sick person. I want to be a healthy person. I want to have those shoulders. Let's just keep it real. I'm going to have those shoulders with that little dent right here. So when I wear tank tops, it has a little dent and I'm not like all squishy and spongy. I want to be like really cut. We'll see if that happens. That will happen. I'm going to start visualizing that. Anyway, I titled this video, New Moon, New Intentions, New Month, because it's July 2nd. The first of every month is my favorite day of every month. It just feels like you can wipe the slate clean. It feels like you can just start over, and whatever direction you were going in, you can be like, you turn and change things. And I just love changing things. I love moving furniture around. I love changing everything. I just love change. So it was July 1st yesterday. I was super tired, but I felt really, really happy in the fact that it was a new month and I could treat myself better. Like I could get back onto a better disciplined life. It's also a new moon. So I think today is going to be the darkest that the moon has been, even though we have overcast, so you can't see it anyway, but I have an app that tells me what the moon looks like, and there is no moon. 0% today. So that's exciting. That may also, I haven't decided if I believe in it yet, but I did, I read Do Less. That was the last book that I read before I started listening to Denise DT again. And I liked it, but then I started wondering if I was going to use that as an excuse. Like if I was going to say, oh, it's the new moon, so that means I'm super tired because it's the moon and I should just go rest. Or if I was going to say, you know what, it's a new moon, so I understand that I feel a little bit more tired, but I'm going to push through. So it's kind of the way you think about it. I really don't want to give myself an excuse to just lay around in bed, because I told you guys before, I have a history of depression years ago, like, teenage years, not even in my 20s. I was good in my 20s, but in my teenage years. And I don't like that idea of just laying down and kind of, just laying down in the bed and just like staying there all day. That something about that triggers me. Like I feel like I'm going back into those depression days, and it really makes me feel sad. Well, depression is sad. So I don't want to do that. Like I want to keep moving. Therefore, in other news, oh yes, so it's a new moon. All right, so the other thing that in Do Less is said is that, and this is by Christiane Northrup's daughter, Kate Northrup. I can never remember her name unless I do it like that. So she was saying that the new moon is a time to look inward and to kind of reflect on things. And I absolutely, this is like a test for me. I'm like, was she telling the truth? I absolutely feel that way. I feel like just what I was just telling you about, like self-care and being able to discipline my life more. I feel that is not something I'm trying to do right now. I feel like it's coming naturally. Isn't the sun like crazy? I feel like it's coming naturally to me to say, what are you doing? How can you make it better? What's the point of life? Why are you not eating cheeseburgers? It's like, I feel like that inward reflection right now. So I'm going to take her advice about the new moon and go ahead and like allow that to flow. like there's a lot of that kind of, cosmic energy that we suppress because we're like, no, you just made a new budget diary. It's time to launch that sucker. Don't start thinking about your life and the bigger picture and all this stuff. No, I'm going to let that flow, and I'm going to go with that because I think that's going to be important to me in helping other people. So, I got to take care of myself anyway. I have to take care of myself. So reflecting on how I can better take care of myself is important. And what else was it about the new moon? See, I'm so tired. I can't even think straight. Yesterday, it was so much worse. If I had come on here live yesterday, I couldn't even make a sentence because I was just like, my brain was like, leave us alone. We're just going to go to work and type for a few hours. So new intentions. So I just launched the budget diary. We were debt free in June, as of like the beginning of June. So it's been a month of being debt free. Anyway. I feel like the connection is going in and out because I'm getting these little flashes. So I don't know. But yeah, so it feels different when you have no bills. And it's a really spiritual thing, but you don't realize how spiritual it is until you actually are out of debt. And what happens is you start thinking about all the stuff that you were worried about and how that worry impacted the way that you behaved and the way you presented yourself to the world. When you have bills, it's just a natural thing. You're always thinking about, like, I got to make sure I go to work, got to make sure I make money, I got to make sure I pay this bill on time and that bill on time, I got to make sure I don't get a late fee. It's just a normal part of life. But when you don't have bills and you don't have debt, suddenly all this brain space is freed up because you're not thinking about that crap all the time. And suddenly you can present yourself to the world in a more confident manner. I did not realize this until the bills were gone. So what I would love is for everyone to feel this way. Seriously and honestly, I would love for everyone to feel this way. And so I knew as soon as I started doing some money mindset techniques and realized that they worked, I was like, that's it. This is what I'm doing. I got to tell, because, I went into medicine to help people. And a little while ago, maybe a few years ago, I realized I wasn't helping people. That's why I stopped being a hospitalist, because it was stressful and I wasn't helping anybody. They just keep coming to the hospital. You tell them what to do, they don't do it. They keep coming to the hospital. I'm just kidding. So I got out of hospital medicine, but I was like, you know what? I'm not helping anybody. I'm helping insurance companies. Trust me. I'm helping insurance companies make a lot of money, but I'm not helping people live a better life. And to me, that doesn't have to be with their health. I don't have to help you be a healthy person or have your diabetes under control. I just want to help people live a better life. I've always wanted to help people ever since I was a kid. Wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to help people. And so now I found a way that will actually help people in a significant way, which is to free your mind from thinking about debt and stress, and in turn that helps you from with anxiety and depression. It helps you feel confident and to live a better life, and to be, you don't have to stress out about what your boss is saying to you. It's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. But now that we don't have debt, I'm like, I was really freaking out about stuff every single day. I was always worried. And now I'm like, I'm not worried. And how can I, if anybody else in the world wants to feel this way, how can I make sure other people feel this way? Because there's no way that if somebody else is bogged down and smothered by debt, that they have to feel that way. Because it was gone so fast. Our debt was just like free. It was amazing. So anyway, that's what I want to do, is teach people how to do that. So new moon, new month, new intentions. So my intentions are shifting from telling my story so much to actually figuring out how to help other people change their story. So I said all of that to tell you that. Is to tell you that it's not about my story anymore, because like I said, we were debt free in June. It's now July. Now I'm kind of learning how to live and save. Like, that's the stage that I'm at. But I need to my intention is to get other people, like the girls in my mastermind group, and to get their story molded around their new way of life, their whole debt-free life. So that is my new intention. So I'm going to I don't know what I'll do today. Maybe just sit and meditate, maybe just reflect on it, because you're supposed to do some kind of new moon ritual, and it doesn't have to be anything weird like candles and incense and all this weirdness, crystals and all that. It can be if that's who you are, but for me, I think I'll just enjoy some quiet, maybe a cup of tea, and just like do a rampage of appreciation for my life and for the situation I'm in, and for the fact that I feel that God has given me a gift to help other people to get freedom in their life. And it could have been anything, but it happened to be planners, because I've been a planner my whole life, and I never ever would have thought that I could use a planner to help somebody get debt free. But now that I know, that's what I'm gonna do. And I also made this thing, I don't know if you can see it. It's the earth and the moon, and my daughter figured that out. It's just a bracelet, but it looks like the earth and the moon. Anyway, there's too much sun over here to even see anything. But thank you for watching, and thank you for, you know, telling people to watch. I don't know. I'm practicing being on video, so it's kind of scary that people are actually watching me. But I love y'all. Everybody who's watching, thank you so much. Tell your friends about the Budget Diary, because if you know anybody who needs to get out of debt, now's the time, while I'm still figuring out how to teach it. Okay. All right. Bye. Have a wonderful day.